Hello, and thanks for joining us here on Encore. Coming up on today's show. She's bold, she's sensual, and talented. Sharon Stone was in Paris for the French premiere of her documentary, An Undeniable Voice. She spoke to our Eve Jackson. Sharon Stone was one of the most talked about actresses of the 90s, dominating the silver screen in films like Total Recall, Casino, and the unforgettable Basic Instinct. In 2001, a stroke and brain hemorrhage nearly killed her and set back her career. She was in Paris this week to present a documentary that she produced called An Undeniable Voice. It's a story of Sam Harris, a man believed to be the youngest survivor of the Holocaust. Now, Eve Jackson had a chat with Sharon Stone on the red carpet of the film's premiere in France.
C'est elle qui m'a fait tomber amoureux du cinéma. Enfant, j'avais ma chambre d'ado, il y avait des posters partout d'elle.
Féminine, intelligente, du charisme, quoi.
Beautiful, wonderful, incredible.
Les stars de l'âge d'or hollywoodien, cette classe.
Une femme qui a un QI supérieur à la moyenne. Je la trouve très lumineuse, bonne actrice, très jolie.
One of the most legendary and celebrated stars of her generation, Sharon Stone continues to break boundaries.
Of course you're the first to call, Bob. It's the middle of the night.
In her last movie, All I Wish, she persuaded the director to give her the main role, written for a 25-year-old.
Dating a fetus?
Yes, Mom. I'm dating a fetus. It's kind of hard for us to get serious with his mom always tagging along.
Don't eat the bread.
You can also see her in Steven Soderbergh's murder mystery Mosaic, a part he wrote just for her.
You seem strong. Are you handy?
She came to Paris's Grand Rex movie theatre to shine a light on her 16-minute Holocaust documentary.
The documentary that we've made, called An Undeniable Voice, is about a man named Sam Harris, who is one of the youngest living survivors of the Holocaust. It's his story. He immigrated to America when he was 7. It tells the story of someone who came from a genocide, who immigrated to another country, my country, our country, America, and we just wanted to tell that story because we feel that now is a time for that story to be heard and to understand that history repeats itself. And when we repeat ourselves unfavorably, that is the definition of insanity. And it turns out that 3 years ago when we set on this journey, we knew it needed to be said. We didn't understand that we would arrive at this moment simultaneously with the unbelievable crisis that we're seeing today.
The Nazis came. The Nazis came into that barn, and they were yelling, "You the Heraus! You the Heraus! Jews, come out!" We weren't breathing. We were not breathing.
I think that in the 40s, we remembered what was written on the Statue of Liberty. I think that in that period, we were dealing with one genocide. I think now we're dealing with a lot of genocides, and it requires us to stay more and more, increasingly more in touch with our humanity. And it's frightening. It's frightening because when we have to change in any way to be more, to be fuller, to be better, it insists that we let go of who we were before. And everyone is afraid to do that. I'm afraid to do that. We're all afraid to do that. Before I adopted my children, I had a completely different life than I did with 3 boys, raising them on my own. People still treat single mothers a very certain way. And I've learned a lot, and it's not an experience I would exchange for anything else. But I can say, you can't have a different life until you're ready to let go of the life you had before. I was one of the most famous women in the world. Me and Princess Diana, we were so famous. And then I wasn't. But I have a better life now. And I know that until you're willing to let go of that thing that you think is so fantastic, you can't have the next thing. And I know how frightening that is. But we must be in touch with our humanity, especially when there are so many people who need us to be able to experience that they need our love and our care. And that these people had real lives, full lives, just like ours, just like ours. These people are not, some people that threw their lives away. Their lives were taken from them. We forget that when we send them from one shore to the next shore to the next shore with nothing, with no food, no clothes, no medicine, no care, no love, no thought. Who are we when we forget that?
What went through your head when you saw those images at the America and Mexico border of families being separated from their children, and those recent images and being put in detention centers?
As much as I don't feel children should be separated from their parents at the Mexican-American border, nor do I think they should be dying on boats or at the shores on every other border around the globe. This is not an American problem. This is a problem in every country in the world. Children are dying in boats and dying on your shores. This isn't an American problem. It's a problem of lacking humanity no matter where you are. Just because ours is ugly doesn't mean yours isn't ugly too.